Once upon a time in a faraway land, there were two Yorkies, one white and one black, and a yellow lab. They all lived together in the same house with a human family who loved them very much. The white Yorkie was named Brownie, and the black Yorkie was named Yonk Yonk. The lab was named Lee. Now, even though they were different colors, they were all siblings and they loved playing together during the day, but when the humans went to sleep, they would have the whole house to themselves, and that meant they could go on adventures. You see, when they were just little puppies, they had been given a magical gift by a wizard who lived at the top of the hill. He'd sprinkled them with fairy dust and told them that whenever he sprinkled his fairy dust on an animal, it gave them magical powers. And their power was the power of flight. They could only use their power at night, though, because during the day the sun's rays would make the fairy dust invisible, and during the day they couldn't use their powers. But once the moon was out, the fairy dust would become visible again and they could use their powers. So every night after the humans were asleep, they would sneak out the dog door and into the forest. They had so many adventures. They would soar through the air, feeling the wind in their fur. As they flew over the tall trees, sometimes they would visit the wizard who had given them their powers. He would give them yummy treats and scratch their ears and tell them stories about the world beyond the forest. They would listen, wide-eyed and wagging their tails, dreaming of the day when they would be able to see the world for themselves. But for now, they were happy just to explore the forest. They would chase fireflies and play hide-and-seek amongst the trees. They even made friends with some of the animals in the forest. There was a wise old owl named Hoot, a family of deer who always greeted them with a wave of their tails, and a mischievous family of raccoons who loved playing pranks on the other animals. The three dogs didn't mind being small. In fact, they were proud of it. It meant that they could fit into small spaces and get into places that other animals couldn't. They would explore abandoned burrows and fallen logs, always on the lookout for adventure. One night, while they were playing hide-and-seek, they came across a clearing they had never seen before. In the middle of the clearing was a beautiful lake, and on the other side of the lake, they saw a castle. It looked like something out of a fairy tale, with tall towers and a drawbridge. The dogs had never seen anything like it before. "I wonder if we can go inside," whispered Brownie. "I don't know," said Yonk Yonk. "It looks like it could be dangerous." "Come on, Yonk Yonk," said Lee. "Don't be a scaredy cat. Let's go explore." So the three dogs flew over to the castle. As they got closer, they started to hear music and laughter. The dogs hid behind a bush and peeked over to see what was going on. They saw a group of animals having a party. There were rabbits and squirrels and even a family of foxes. The dogs had never seen so many different animals together before. "I want to join them," said Brownie. "Me too," said Lee. But Yonk Yonk was still scared. "What if they don't like us?" he whispered. "Don't be silly," said Brownie. "Of course they'll like us. We're the coolest dogs in the forest." So the three dogs flew over to the party and introduced themselves. The other animals were so surprised to see three flying dogs, but they were very friendly and welcomed the dogs to the party. The dogs joined in the dancing and singing, and they even learned a new game that the rabbits had invented. After the party, the dogs flew back home. They had so much fun, but they were also very tired. They curled up on their beds and dreamed of their next adventure. The end.